And speaking of worldwide, Porsche at one point said that even the executives in Stuttgart themselves called the Ingram collection a quote, breathtaking review of automotive design history. And we just passed the 2 year mark, 2.5 year mark of when that history really suffered an enormous, I would say, breathtaking incident. Tell me about the day in April of 2019 when the building that you housed most of this collection exploded.
It was a day we won't forget, Jason. As you said, my wife, Jeannie, had taken what was, ironically, Jason, an old Studebaker dealership.
Yeah.
In downtown Durham in the historic tobacco district. It was a
1928 Studebaker dealership.
Exactly. Kind of a Beaux Arts designed old facility. When we leased the building, originally it was rats and pigeons, but my wife turned it into, as some people described it, a Ralph Lauren living room with a lot of cars in it. And we were privileged to host over the years many charity events. In fact, our accountant told us at the time that the building was destroyed that we had raised over $1,400,000 for various charities over the years. And we're proud of that. But the day of the explosion, my wife and I were in our car, getting ready to leave Durham to drive up to the Blue Ridge Mountains, when Rory's assistant called us, obviously very hysterical, saying there's been an explosion. And what had happened was the building adjacent to our building housed, among other things, a coffee shop. And they were putting in an internet line to that coffee shop when they mistakenly, as they were digging for the internet line, struck a gas line and created this gas leak. And Rory's assistant called in because she could smell the gas. Well, she was the fifth or sixth call they got. So the fire department had arrived and fortunately evacuated that building where the coffee shop was. And there was still no explosion. But then sadly, the owner of the coffee shop persuaded a fireman to let him go back into the coffee shop to get something. And when he opened just the door, just that friction of the door caused the explosion. And it totally destroyed that building almost instantaneously. And the flames leaped over and basically destroyed the roof of our building. And when the roof collapsed, obviously, given the collapse and the debris, let alone the water that the fire department rightfully put on the building, it basically caused our building to be a total loss. And we did have about half of our collection in there. And we were able to get the cars out the next day. And I would say of the 32 cars that we had in there, we ended up losing 4. And I say 4, Cam and his team could have restored those 4, but the cost of that restoration, Jason, as you would appreciate, versus the diminished value just did not make sense.